So the Druid is out and you're looking for a top tier dungeon and or raid build for the Druid. Now, a lot of builds have been put out there by a lot of awesome content creators. The build I'm about to show you, I'm not going to claim as I am the one who made it, because I've seen a lot of really awesome content creators that have covered very similar builds. So I don't want to get stuck in whose build it is. Again, this is one that I have been utilizing since the Druid came out, so it feels like mine, but if someone came out with a video already, I'm not trying to get into an argument about it. But this is, in my opinion, the best raid and dungeon build for the Druid, at least right now, until we get some more essence mastery and maybe even some more essences. So let's get straight to it. This is the raid / dungeon build. Let's go ahead and just do our damage. Now you're going to see that we are using bear form. So many of us thought that bear form was just not going to be the top tier damage option, and that we thought that the werewolf was going to be the best. But it's, believe it or not, like, it's not only is it more tanky, it just also does more damage, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds total, and you can see that already it's doing, at least for my account, and obviously damage numbers are going to vary by individuals and by accounts. This is pretty good in my means. So 92 million damage, 3 million damage per second. For my account, for my resonance, for my secondaries, for everything, that is a good damage. That's good damage for me. All right, so this is going to be one of my favorite builds. Let me show you the essences right now. So the headpiece is bounding accuracy, and this is going to be bound, which is werebear. Now leaps to a target, damaging all nearby enemies, increasing attack speed and critical hit chance of your primary attack. So that's how you get that wop 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 wop, so sort of sound effect for the Druid. All-time favorite essence, not essence, but sound in the game for Diablo Immortal is when you get the attack speed and critical hits on the bear form, which is. Next is going to be the coat of fecundity, which is basically the just goated chest. And this is going to be the one that spreads seeds everywhere. So smolder thorn armor now creates an area of thorny vines that follows you, continuously damaging nearby enemies and inflicting them with smoldering seeds, which explode if the infected enemy is burning. Thorn armor damage increased. Shoulders is Bargeist Beacon, which is going to give us, I almost said bacon. Summon wolves is, oh, so now we have the fire wolves that are summoned with us. For the pants, it's Shatter Grois. I'm probably butchering all these, and I'm guarantee you someone either in the chat or in the comment section is going to roast me for that. So this is going to be Crush Werebear, also shatters enemy armor, increasing the damage they take by 13% for 3 seconds. Again, we're going to just keep this on the target basically the whole time, which is fantastic. The Craw is the first main hand we're using, which is Hulking Werebear. Werebear now transforms into a gigantic bear, which increases the attack range and maximum life. Werebear damage increased. Main hand number 2 is Rattling Shell, and what this is summon wolves also increase your movement speed by 20% for each active wolf companion under your control, up to a maximum of 60%. Now, the reason this is good for dungeons and raids is that it's really just, it helps with that movement speed in between the bosses, or if you're doing a challenge rift or anything like that. I like that builds. I don't want to have like 7 different builds for all the different go power misery. I don't want to have a different build or like a different loadout for every type of game mode. I want like 3 loadouts. I want one for farming, one for dungeon and raids, and one for PvP, ideally. And when I switch to classes, I'm looking for my top 3 builds. Outside of that, if there's more, fantastic. I just don't want to have a build for every type of thing, if that makes sense. Mauler's Mitt is the first offhand, and that's gonna be Crush / Werebear. Now empowers you, causing your primary attacks to smash the ground and damage nearby enemies with critical hits, causing spikes of rocks to erupt from the ground for additional damage. So again, this is doing AoE consistent ground damage, which is going to be important here when we talk about the set gear. Offhand number 2 is Tusk Guard, which is summon oak no longer passively summons and instead actively summons 3 oak sages who inflict enemy with smolder seeds that can explode if the enemy is affected by burning. Again, we're going to be burning and exploding our seeds all over everyone's faces. Pause, no pause, but that's how you do it. When it comes to the set gear, I'm running 4-piece Fethuz, so increase the duration of all additional effect and increase the attack speed. And then I'm running a 4-piece Grace. Now, again, I think there are so many good set pieces of gear you could do with this, but again, this is all continuous damage or channel damage will do increase 15%. Each time you deal damage to the same enemy 5 times, you'll do an increased, or you'll do 21,000 damage. Now you could do a lot of different things here. You could do a 2-piece Vithus, 2-piece Banquet. You could do 2-piece Baron, 2-piece Grace. You know what I mean? Like there's so many good renditions. I do like 4-piece Vithus for the attack speed bonus. I would probably do a 4-piece Vithus, 2-piece Banquet, and then maybe even a 2-piece of the new one. Well, no, so that's the other thing, like the new set gear that we got, like electric one, I think that one's also going to be good. So you could do a 4-piece Vithus, 4-piece of that, and get some pretty consistent damage there. But again, I think there's a lot of flexibility in the builds when it comes to the set gear. And then for the Paragon tree, which is probably what everyone wants, I'm just running Slayer for all the continuous damage that we're going to be doing and exploding of seed. So I'm just doing the top 5. And then for the ultimate or legendary skill, I'm doing the Death Release, which is also continuous damage effects. When they expire, they'll deal 30% of the total damage to all nearby enemies. That's it, guys. Pretty sick build. If you care about the charm, you know, you definitely want to have werebear damage. Not necessarily Raven Swarm, but you would ideally have God, what am I thinking of? Thorn Armor, because that's going to be kind of the bread and butter as well. So werebear and Thorn Armor are going to be the 2 that I would focus on. And yeah, guys, this is my all-time favorite for dungeons, raids, and vanguards. Super duper good. Try it out. It's already saved into my like go-to slots for dungeon raids and vanguard. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. See you later. Bye.